All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, I am Adam. I run a automotive shop, but this is my personal channel where we kind of just show lifestyle things. We're pivoting into a lifestyle channel, so I'm into cars, trucks, anything with a motor. I'm also a business owner, so I own this business, which is KB Autosports, aftermarket outfitting company. We kind of just do a lot of aftermarket stuff, and we like to play around and have fun. So, getting into the main topic of today's video, we are going to be replacing some bushings in the F-150, which you guys can see behind me. So that's my personal truck. It is also a shop vehicle, as we have done a lot of work on it. So give me a second. I'm popping on a bushing so you guys can see what we're going to be replacing today. And then I'll explain in a second what's going on. So, here behind me, in front of me now, we have these bushings. So these are lower control arm bushings. I have already, in a previous, not video, but just in a previous time, I want to say probably a year ago or more, I replaced the upper control arm bushings because they were completely toasted. And now it is well past time to do lower control arm bushings. So lower control arm bushings are right down in there on both sides. Obviously I have to do all four. So the two on that side, two on this side. And obviously we have to get this front tire off, and then hopefully, I'm hoping we don't have to take apart too much of this. I do obviously have four-wheel drive because we're up here in Wisconsin. I'm hoping I can slide it out, right there, but I don't know. I don't remember how I've done this in the past. I have a feeling I won't be able to do it that way because it just probably will be a pain. But we're gonna get this tire off and we're gonna start evaluating the situation. What I am gonna do right away is I'm gonna mark these so I know where these go back. That way, hopefully, alignment can be done a little bit better. And then obviously I am still going to have the alignment done. I have another shop local that does all of our alignments because we have ran out of space and don't have an alignment rack. So with that being said, if you guys are interested in watching today's video, stay tuned and we will get this thing replaced. And then I'm not sure what we'll do really after that, but I'm sure we'll figure out something. The truck needs a wash, so we'll probably wash the truck as well. But today's gonna be a little bit more chilled, laid back video. I got a few hours to get this done before we actually have a customer that needs to come in. So let's bust this out. So I already went ahead and marked these so that I know where they go back on all four of them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take apart the lower strut, we're going to take off the sway bar, and then we have to take this off and the lower control arm. So 21, 18, 18, and an 18 over here. If you don't have aftermarket parts such as the Bilstein shocks and everything, your sizes might be just a little bit different. Do not quote me on any of it. And then I believe that this is like a 1 16th and a 15/16. But I'll get to that size in a little bit. I'm not too worried about that one. But what we're gonna first do is, like I said, undo this and the lower control arm and get that stuff started. Now, my truck is gonna be under a little bit more tension than most vehicles because I did a big no-no and I have a lifted, well, technically a slightly lifted strut. I have the Bilstein adjustable coilover and I bumped it up one of these notches. So technically I have like half an inch of lift on the Bilstein coilover, and then I have a 6-inch lift block for the top. Well, 7-inch lift block, I guess, for the top, because this is a 7-inch ready lift kit. So I'm sure you can't see my face. If you can, whatever. But we're gonna have a little bit of tension in this area, most likely, and then that's also not gonna help when I go to put everything back together. But that's life. That's the only way this truck actually sits completely level, or at least looks proper. So it is what it is. I'm gonna start taking things apart, and we're gonna see how fast I screw myself. All right, so as you guys just saw in the previous clip, I unfortunately did have to pull the axle out just a little bit. It really basically came out just far enough to fall into the side of the bearing, and then I was able to slide the lower control arm out. Putting it all back together, putting it all back together will probably be a heck of a lot more challenging, but we will see. So hopefully it won't be. If anything, I should have my dad here in a couple hours to assist me into putting all that back together, and I just dropped a bolt. But I can definitely tell you, I just looked at the lower control arms, and I'll show you guys here in a minute once I move everything over. Yeah, these lower control arm bushings were shot from a very, very, very long time. And quite honestly, this is the part of maintenance where you guys got to make sure you're doing it. Now, I knew about it. I knew it's been an issue. I knew I've had a few issues, and I'll explain those issues right now. This is what happened, okay? Back 2 years ago or whatever, when I built this vehicle, we had one powder coater, and I won't mention his name because he's still a decent friend of ours, so on and so forth. He just doesn't want to do, I don't know, whatever. He doesn't want to do our work or something. Not sure what happened. But either way, basically what it was he powder coated uppers, lowers, and like 3/4 of this vehicle. He powder coated it. And he told me, he's like, hey, I've been doing this stuff for years. Don't worry about it. I'll slow cook these, I'll bake these control arms very slowly. Nothing will go wrong, anything like that. So I was like, okay, whatever. I've never done this level of like a powder coating job or anything. So I was leaning on, I'll say, someone's more expertise. But as you can see, it's fully powder coated. This is Illusion Purple, but this is one of the bushings, okay? So this thing literally just slid out. As you can see, it's all torn up. I'm sure it was moving. This one, I think, is actually stuck in here. So this one's actually stuck in a little bit, but that one literally just slid right out. So fully junk, moving around, I'm sure. But that's the reason why we're replacing these, because obviously you're never supposed to cook a bushing. You're not supposed to do any of that. But I believed in this guy. He said he knew what he was doing. He's done plenty of our work. He's done plenty of everything. And I talked to a different powder coater, and he's like, yeah, about 4 months or 6 months down the road, we had to replace the bushings because we did the same thing and we learned our lesson. So I was like, okay, whatever. I guess that's just life. So I've had the issue for a little while now. I knew I had the issue because when I would look at my steering wheel, if I'd hit a bump, it would be like off one way, then it would be off the other. So if you've ever seen any videos inside my truck on TikTok or anything like that, and you see my steering wheel's crooked, it's because the bushings were shot. And I knew the bushings were shot. So we still have other things to fix on here, such as like, yeah, so I don't know if this is normal, but like we have a little bit of wiggle room each way. Again, that one completely just slid out. So I'm assuming this stuff is not normal. So again, yeah, that'll be fun. These will be able to pop out. I'll just fold them over and then we'll slide our new ones in. So stay tuned. We're gonna do that real quick and go from there. All right, so the lower control arms, purely not going to plan at all. It is, I don't know what time it is, to be honest. It's probably real close to 4 o'clock, and yeah, I spent like probably close to an hour and a half, 2 hours cutting out one of the ball joint bushing, like support things. I don't know, the metal retainer around the ball or the bushing. Excuse my cough. I got some sickness. But anyways, right now I am driving to Denmark, Wisconsin to grab a wheel for a client of ours. Trying not to get caught playing on my phone while I am driving. Uh-oh. How the fuck does that make sense? One cop car hauling ass down the road, and then another one right in front of him, a sheriff right in front of him, not lit up, so that doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, we're heading to Denmark to grab a wheel for a customer, and then I'll probably have to go back. I know, I sound so healthy. And when I get back, we might be doing some tires, unless my dad busted them out, which I doubt he did. He is at the shop now. He's helping out, trying to further progress my crappy truck situation. So hopefully tonight we can get it all put back together. If not, it's just a miserable mess. And I'll get it back together eventually. So I'm gonna go pick up this wheel, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. All right, so wheel has been acquired. It's somewhere back there. There you go. You can see it behind the seat. What I will definitely say is, as a business owner, some places just don't make fucking sense, man. So I went to this place, bought this wheel, got this wheel, whatever. They didn't know how they wanted me to pay. They said cash. I could pay whatever the amount was. Otherwise, they'd add tax for credit or debit. Whatever, that's fine. I always have cash on me because I'm always hustling, buying stuff off Marketplace, this and that. So I always have a couple $100 cash on me. And just FYI, if you think about robbing me, or you think you'd like to rob me, I'm also Second Amendment. So just be careful with those decisions. Anyways, this family-friendly YouTube video. So we'll keep this one good, short, and sweet. Went there, got it. I want to know how people go from a week out to I can get a wheel the same day. I called them last Monday or Tuesday to get a wheel, and they're like, oh yeah, we're out at least a week. If you're out a week, shouldn't you just kind of stay out a week? It shouldn't be the next week that you're just dead. So that one confused the hell out of me. I think somebody didn't want to do their job or something. But it is what it is. We're headed back. There's a customer at the shop, so we'll see if I end up doing that one or not. Otherwise, I'll just hop back on my truck, and it is what it is. But this shall be interesting. All right, so I told you guys I was going to make an update video, and I never did make an update video. All of the bushing retainer clips, I don't know what the hell we're calling them. Basically, the remaining of the bushing is out. So all of these are ready to get the new bushing pressed in. We did have to drill one bushing out because it decided that it wanted to survive and be perfectly fine. Now what we're having a problem is we're hitting a new dilemma. Me and him have had a couple talks, me being my dad over here, unboxing things. So I'm pretty sure if you went to the Ford dealership and you asked them for front control arm bushings for the lower side, they would probably tell you these parts are unserviceable. We had other parts on the back of this truck. I believe it was the leaf springs. Leaf spring shackles, I remember it correctly. So those bushings got shot as well. And I think we did somewhat pre-plan. Yes, so we took them out. They got tore up when we were taking them out. We went to the dealer. Dealer said that part is unserviceable. You have to buy the whole shackle. So us being us, we already sent stuff out to powder coat. We just chopped that brand new shackle up, stole the bushings out of it, pressed them into the new ones. The problem we're having with these is, as you can see, we have these bushings going into the new spot. But it's not that it can't happen, because I'm sure it can, and we're figuring out how to make it happen. It's the tools that we have at our disposal. So like this is our 20-ton jack. The curvature right here, and just basically everything we have, so our ball joint press isn't big enough. We're just having a problem getting the right access points to this. So we have this that hits on the 20-ton press. We have this spot that hits. So what we're going to do is we're going to contact a couple of our dealers tomorrow and see if anybody's got a better array of tools for heavier duty equipment, whatever it might be. And they should be able to press these in. Otherwise, we'll find out that, hey, these really are unserviceable, and then we'll have to figure out a solution. Now, the reason that I'm making this video is for things like this. And then the second reason I'm making this video is me and him were talking on our way here, and I said I was frustrated because, again, this shouldn't have taken this long, shouldn't have been a problem, whatever. But he made the comment that it's a good issue for us to have because now we have to figure out how to solve it. Because if you own an F-150 or anything with obviously factory front control arms, that's independent front suspension, so the newer Broncos, Chevy 2500s, anything like that, as a custom shop that we are, people will probably want things powder coated eventually. Maybe not at this shop, maybe as we grow bigger. People will want their control arms powder coated, more parts powder coated, as there's a whole industry behind that. Well, if we can figure out how to service these these bushings and make it so these bushings can get pressed in, then obviously the next customer can come here. And basically, unfortunately, we're using our truck as just the guinea pig on learning how this stuff works. If we have to outsource one small thing as pushing in the bushings and the rest of it can be done by us, that's perfectly fine. We'll figure it out. So I am going to end this video here, as I like to make one-day content videos. And then I will pick up tomorrow, and we will start a new video tomorrow of what we're doing. But that is where we currently sit, is kind of getting stumped. Again, it's more because we don't have the proper tools to do it the way we need to. Will we order some tools? Maybe. I just want to talk to some other people and figure it out. He was the one that suggested some other shops. So,
and if somebody has an idea, let us know.
yeah, if someone's done this before, which I know a few shops have, let us know. This is what we're using. We're using this ball joint tool. This one doesn't go big enough, so this is what we have at our disposal. We have that thing. Unfortunately, with how much we have to push in, that thing doesn't work very well. So these are pretty much our 3 tools. So if you have a different tool, hit us up, let us know. Other than that, hit like, subscribe, do all that jazz. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And hopefully I can get some sleep because I've got some issue I've been dragging with like the last 2 weeks. So it is what it is. See you guys in the next video. I'm done rambling. Peace.